Pritchett Canyon. We're going to try Yellow Hill here. Usually the truck struggles a little with it. We're going to see how that new traction bar on the back helps out. See if we can get it up in 1 or 2 shots. Usually takes at least that many. First shot was kind of my fault. We weren't lined directly up, but she made it. So here we are on a Sunday, coming out of Pritchett Canyon. Guy had to leave his Jeep in overnight on Center Rock Pile. Broke a tie rod, which it's weird because it was an upgraded tie rod. He went to the 1-ton steering conversion and the tie rod snapped. So there's no guarantee on anything. Anything can happen at any time. So you just never know. You can't carry everything. Be as prepared as you want to be. But some people are more prepared than others. You know, he carried a lot of stuff. He tried a really cool trick with some handyman jack bodies. He bolted them together and tried to make them a tie rod, which if he hadn't been in the bind that he was in, it would have worked great. So super props to him. Like he really tried, you know, using what he had, and I thought it was a really good idea. So that brings me to my conversation that I've been wanting to have about Overlanders. Let's see if I can adjust that. Anyway, so it's this big new thing to load up in your vehicle, load up all your stuff, and travel across the country. I think it's awesome. I mean, anybody that can do that full time or do it, you know, occasionally for a week or 2 at a time, and that's awesome. You get to go see stuff that we'll probably never see. That's amazing. Planning to prep for your trip is a huge aspect to that. So I've been going to get a lot of people, a lot of recoveries and stuff. Like, they have all the tools on their truck to do what needs done and no understanding of how to do it. So guys were stuck in a sand wash that had been, the rain had come through, so there was mud and wet sand, real pain in the ass. I get there and they've got a high lift jack and max tracks and some straps. I mean, they had everything to get themselves out. They're like, well, we didn't have a winch. Well, a handyman jack can be used as a winch. So, you know, a lot of people don't know that. The handyman jack has a really bad reputation. Everybody's like, you know, they're super dangerous. And yeah, they are. If not cared for and not maintained properly, and you're trying to poke it with something to get the mechanism to work, yeah, something bad's gonna happen. But, I mean, carry a can of WD-40. If you have a high lift jack, carry a can of WD-40. Then you can just squirt the mechanism down anytime you really need to use it. Because it's super helpful. Like, it's amazing how handy a jack is like that. So, anyway, So I went out. I had to go out in the middle of Arches National Park the other day, middle of the night, to help a guy change his tire. So he was on a trek from Alaska across the southern 48, and just, you know, he was doing cool stuff, which I think is awesome. When I get there, and he's like, my high lift broke, it wouldn't pick this big thing up. And I said, okay, well, I wouldn't use a high lift to do that anyway. Oops, tree. I said I wouldn't use a high lift anyway, I'd use a bottle jack. I've got a bottle jack. And he's like, oh, well, I have one right here. Well, why am I here then? like, you have all the tools. Like, it goes back to that thing, like, they're all about planning and prepping and having everything on the truck and all this stuff. Okay, well, don't just go through the Full Wheel Parts magazine and pick out everything that you've seen on a YouTube video that looks cool. Look into it. How does it work? How can this help me in a bad situation? Is it useful to have on the truck? Because there's a lot of stuff that isn't, that I see these guys packing around, that adds a lot of weight to the vehicle, and then U-joints break, axle shafts break. You have failures like that that aren't in really bad situations, but it's the excessive weight of the vehicle. You put a roof rack, a rooftop tent, and, you know, Overlanders, so you gotta have max tracks, you gotta have your snorkel, you know, all that necessary stuff you gotta have. You gotta have it on there anyway. So that adds weight, so that's something to consider. Like, have a minimalist perspective. Like, what do I really need but I can get away with? Like, do I need all 3 socket sets, or can I get away with 1 to cut down the weight? I mean, it's something you got to think about. Carry all the tools you need, but the ones you need. Don't just throw stuff in there that doesn't work unless you're in a parking lot, because you're not always in a parking lot out here. Like, I see a lot of people carrying around them floor jacks, which they make a couple of the off-road floor jacks, which are super cool, and I would recommend those with the bigger tires that you can roll around on the dirt and the gravel. Absolutely. But one with the hard wheels that are this big around, you're going to fight it more than it's going to be useful, and it's taking up a lot of space and it's adding weight. So just something to think about. Like I said, just throwing it out there, and I like to ramble, so I'm rambling. Anyway, like I said, just out on another recovery, having a great time. But the biggest thing is we're out here as everybody in this sport, and it's a sport, like it's a recreation. So thought something fell off the truck there. So whether you're going out to Overland, to camp, to whatever, whether you're going four-wheeling, whether you got a $200,000 four-steer buggy, it doesn't matter. We're all out here to have fun, and let's remember that, have fun. But I've been kind of lax on videos on YouTube and stuff like that, because I'm getting kind of sick and tired of the negativity surrounding everything. So like, people have issues all the time out here of anything. You know, let me see, how do I put this? So it can happen to anything, to anybody, anywhere, anything. It doesn't matter. Everything always breaks. Sometimes you put yourself in a bad situation and something breaks, and then it looks bad, but whatever. Like I said, it's the negativity surrounding any stuff that I post or anybody else posts that does off-road recovery or anything. It's all the negative comments. It's the, oh, what kind of idiot would go out and do that? Well, why are they here? Why do they have that vehicle there? Why is this? Why is that? Why? They're stupid for doing that. Shut up. Like you've never made a bad choice. self-righteous. Like, anyway, don't get me on that whole tangent. It's just one of those things where I hate the negativity surrounding it. Like, I don't want to... I go out, I got a call one time for a vehicle that was stranded out in the middle of nowhere. And they just hiked a phone service and called me. It was like, hey, we hear you do recoveries. Can you do this? Can you do that? I said, yeah. And they're like, hey, also, can you bring some water? We've got 2 small kids with us. We've been out here overnight. And, you know, we're almost out of water. We're down to our last 3 bottles. Yes, absolutely. I shut the shop down. I got in the truck. I went and bought food, snacks, 3 gallons of water, and got in the truck, fueled it up, and hauled ass out there. I was out there to them in an hour and a half. They had taken a wrong turn, unfamiliar with the area. They went out sightseeing, took a wrong turn, and got lost, and then got stuck. It's an unfortunate situation, but it happened. But at the same time, there's no possible way that I'm going to show up to a situation like that and shove a camera in someone's face and go, hey, you don't mind if I make a couple bucks off of YouTube while I exploit your bad situation and show it to the world, do you? I mean, maybe some people can do that. I can't. I mean, I don't know. It's not my thing. Yes, I've razzed people that do stuff, you know, that I show up to a situation and I'm like, what in the hell were you thinking? You know, because you got to ask that. Like, what were you thinking? How'd you get here? What happened? But I just can't see, like, a lot of times people don't mind stuff like that. But I mean, in situations like that where the family was stranded, I just can't do that. But then by posting it up on social media or anything like that, then everybody just goes to, oh, I can't believe they do that. They're such idiots. How could you be so dumb to do that? They got distracted. They thought they were on the right road, and they weren't. Like, you had any idea how many roads intertwine out here and how easy it is? I've known people on this road coming out from Pritchett Canyon. You come out of Pritchett Canyon, and you can turn and go to Hunter Canyon, or you head out this other road. The turn to Hunter Canyon is right back there. You turn and go onto the main road. The main road. You can see how smooth the main road is as I'm bouncing around. But there's a bunch of roads that split off and go here, go there, go everywhere. There's all these side roads. And I know people that have run this trail many times that get distracted as the sun's going down, and they're like, oh, hey, you know, maybe it's this road. Maybe I think the fork in the road's here. They think we go this way. It's easy to make a mistake. I don't know how perfect all you are, but I know I'm sure not. I've been lost out here. But, like I said, that's why I've kind of slowed down on my YouTube posts. Just because I don't like the negativity surrounding it. It's always about, you know, the keyboard warriors want to sit there while you're in your house in your pajamas, sitting on the couch watching YouTube, and then shit talking to everybody else about how, oh, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have made that choice. I wouldn't have got stuck like that. Yeah, because you're sitting on the couch. So shut up and sit on the couch. But there's people out here enjoying this beautiful country that we're allowed to enjoy and see. And, you know, things happen. So, I don't know. The negativity just gets on my nerves. There's enough negativity in the world that, do you have to be angry about everything? Do you have to take time out of your day? I have never in my life got onto a YouTube video to be like, oh, I can't believe you did that. Who has that much time on their hands? I mean, apparently a lot of people, because there's millions of people that do it. But anyway, had a great, fun weekend. Went and did race support for the Ultra 4 race out at BFE. Did that Saturday and Sunday. So, been a great time. Had to fix one of the cars Friday morning. They broke pre-running the day before. And so I did that or fixed their car, welded up their steering that it broke. Did that, so they put one of my stickers, one of my M stickers on their car. So it was super cool to see that, you know, racing through with my emblem on the side, because it's probably the only way my my logo is ever gonna make it onto a car like that. But so yeah, that was super cool. Had a lot of fun with that. So now back to the daily grind. Was recovering race cars last night out of BFE when I got the call about this one. Told them I was busy well into the night, so I couldn't get to it at the time, so we'd have to go in today. So yeah, here we are, moseying along and having fun. But like I said, I thought I'd trouble you guys for a few minutes of my ramblings. And I don't know, this video looks a little long to put on Facebook. Maybe I'll post this to YouTube and, you know, voice my complaints about the world, because, you know, that's useful. Anyway, here we are, another day in the life of the tow truck and the guy that drives it.